Well, I mean, the sad part is half of the good stuff's been done before we hit record.
Well, we can repeat. What do
Well, we love your background. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, thank you. It's not as if you're here, it's not as impressive as it looks, but it's perfect for our needs. So we
Well,
love it.
no, you're our kind of person, Matthew. Welcome to Good Movie Monday. It's great to be chatting.
Thank you. Great to be here.
First thing I have to say is that any kind of movie that starts with an asteroid, fireball coming through space to Earth, like we're sold. Like that is just that's our jam. So,
Oh, well, good. Thank you.
complete throwback.
No, yeah, no, that was funny. It was actually the first thing I made that before I shot the film.
All right.
So that was, yeah, we were in pre-production and I was bored. And so I did that opening and it held the whole time. So I'm glad you liked it. Thank
It's
you.
it's a tried and true opener. I love it. I love it.
I mean, if it works for the thing, right? Like it can't, it's got to be good for you.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. Your mind goes to the thing, mine goes to like the curse.
ah, fair. I mean, look, I mean, what better way to introduce an intimate story than starting in space?
I guess, yeah, I guess that just shows also you're a little more highbrow than I am. So,
Not really. No.
speaking of lowbrow, what I want to know before anything else is who's the Ween fan? Because there's a big fat boognish on the bedroom wall in this movie.
Okay, so I am a Ween fan, but full disclosure, like I gave my costumes like Karen Mann, my costume designer, I gave her a list of it was really important to me that I wanted the audience to feel the dad's presence through the things on the girl's wall.
Hmm.
And so I gave her a list of bands that I thought her dad might have been into. And it was everything from the Flying Burrito Brothers to Ween. It was a crazy list. And Ween like really leaned in. They liked the script. They liked Lulu Wilson, our star, and they sent us merch. And so I've got to plug Ween. I am now a huge Ween fan. They
Die
were
hard.
on my list, but I'm an even bigger fan post the film. So
Ben, I think the greatest sing along you and I have ever had was singing to the Mollusk on the way to Comic Con in the car. Top of our lungs. No, it was 12 Country Greats, I think.
I think it was, yeah, 12 country greats.
quality band, quality people, quality manager. So plug Ween all you
Awesome.
want.
Yeah, we will do. Hey, what was the origin of this story? Has it been one of those things that's been in your mind for a long time, or did it sort of come to you, recently?
I've always been a fan of the you know different souls kind of coming together and forming everything from I know it's ridiculous, everyone points to ET, but I mean everything from Drop Dead Fred and Fred Savage and How He Man Does Little Monsters all the way to like Terminator 2, like that's a story about a child and a thing bonding, and that's just a genre that I love, and I hadn't seen in a while, and so I'd been thinking about it, and then my son, who was 6 at the time, he loves scary things. He's always, I mean, he begged me to watch Jaws from the time he was 4 years old, and I mean, he loves being scared, and he was going through this phase where he was drawing this monster like over and over again, and I finally one day I asked him, I was like, what is that, horrifying looking thing? And he went, oh, it's Croak. And he's not that bad. And that little idea just kind of went, huh, it looks terrible, but it's not that bad. And, just, but I mean, but like I said, that was where the germ of
Mm.
it kind of came from. But I'd been circling, I like to say, take those films like E.T. And I wanted to kind of explore it. There's this, I'm a huge Nirvana fan. I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. And there's this documentary, and Kurt's saying that you want to learn the secret to writing a Nirvana song. And he starts playing, it sounds like a Beatles riff. It's like in 4/4 time, and he's just, da, 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 da. And it's like super happy. And then he drops into a minor key, hits the distortion pedal, starts screaming, and it's about a girl. And so I always thought it'd be fun to like take ET, drop into a minor key, and turn on a distortion pedal.
That is an awesome way to
That's
describe it.
awesome. And you've actually brought up one of the main questions I wanted to ask was alien design, because we've just been to see Hail Mary, and that has a really interesting kind of alien creature that we haven't seen before, and yours is too. Like, and yours transforms without any kind of spoilers. It doesn't, like, not an
No,
actual transformation, but
it's
it is there's two modes.
Quadruped and bipedal,
Yeah. And
Um,
bipedal is definitely scarier than quadruped,
oh,
which is
always
great.
it's more humanoid. Yeah,
Yeah,
the other
that's right.
it's well, I got to give it. We had an amazing team. We worked with the Jim Henson Creature Shop, Peter Brooks, Amy Smith, Courtney Day, John Criswell. But the design was by Jared Krajewski, and he did Kong versus Godzilla, and he worked on It, and he has some work on Stranger Things. And I think I was a huge pain in his ass because he kept sending me stuff, and it had round edges, if that makes sense. It was safe, and I just kept being like, no, like uglier, grosser. I was like, it's a lobster. Its face has no emotion. Like it should just, it's a thing. It's whatever's lovely or human about it is going to come from the behavior and from the way the girl interacts with it. And he did an incredible job. So I can't take credit for that. I just said yes when he got it right. So.
I mean, also like just working alongside the Jim Henson Company, that's got to be a bucket list kind of moment.
Oh, I mean, they were so lovely because they let me come and pester them all the time. And I mean, I grilled Peter Brooks with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle questions like nonstop because he worked on the suits. And I mean, it was an insane team. John Criswell, he worked on the Reanimator, and so I mean, like, it was just. It absolutely was a bucket list. The 5-year-old boy in me that grew up watching the Jim Henson Story Hour and the Storyteller and Muppets, I mean, was just in heaven. It's everything you would want it to be. So
That is so good to hear. The other major thing that some of the marketing has leaned into and some hasn't is the Kevin Hart factor. How did
yeah.
he become involved with this project? It's such an odd marriage of names.
Well, and this actually started after I had the idea. It started as a Netflix pitch, and we got sort of down the road with them. And then for a variety of reasons, as it happens, it didn't work out. But I'm still really good friends with Brian Smiley, who at the time was the president of his film studio.
Mhm.
And so I literally sent it to Brian just to get his opinion of the script, and he gives me good feedback and notes and gives me a good executive perspective on what I've done. And I said, hey, I'm looking for some producers. I think we could put some private equity together and maybe take a stab at this. Love your thoughts. And that's it. And then a few days later, he called back and said, we've all talked and we'd like to make it. And we're looking to kind of branch out and do different things. And we like it. So it was kind of, personal connection with Brian that led to the connection with Kevin. And it was just kind of at this fulcrum moment where they were looking to diversify kind of creatively. And they thought this, was family skewing enough that, it kind of still fell on that Jumanji-esque brand.
Yeah.
But, out there enough that it would seem kind of unusual that his name was and I got to be honest, at first it was sort of, I had to kind of scratch my chin and be like, do I want that? Because it's not a one-to-one association.
Yeah.
But they ended up being phenomenal partners. Brian Smiley, Luke Kelly Klein, Burmese Khan, and Kevin. So, but it was through personal connections, as these things usually go.
Yeah, it can't hurt either. Having a name like that opens you to a whole new demographic too.
Oh, totally. And he's a very charming, lovely person and very supportive. He just kind of like, use my name, kick doors down. And that was kind of his mandate.
I love that. That's that's a better response than that time that John Landis produced Some Guy Who Kills People. And when I asked the director about that connection, he goes, no, that's not true. That he had nothing to do with it. He looked at the poster and said he liked it.
I mean, look, a name is a name is a name, right? I'll take anyone if they want to put their name on my poster and they can help me tell my stories.
Yeah.
Look, if John Landis liked my poster, it'd be all over it.
As seen by John Landis. You mentioned the sort of the family friendly adjacent kind of nature to the film, which is what appeals to me. They're my kind of films. But was there any wrestling with the final act? Because it goes really above and beyond. It goes dark in that final act and quite intense. Was that something on your mind? Like, should we go as far as we do? Or
I mean, look, I'm of the belief, and I've raised my son this way, and maybe therapy bills down the road will say I was wrong, but I think we're sometimes too easy on kids today.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, Uncle Walt traumatized a generation of
Yeah,
people
that's
with
right.
two films. Not everyone says
Yeah.
Bambi, but we forget how messed up Pinocchio is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, those were pinnacle of family entertainment, and
Mhm.
they did not. Kids are tough, and films are a way, I believe, that they can look at the harder things in our world safely
Yeah.
and learn from them and grow and think. And so I wanted to entertain people with this. I mean, I want people to go see it and be entertained. That I want them to have a good time and I want them to laugh and feel scared in a safe way. But I do want them to feel and to think. And it was important to me that the film didn't shy away from that.
Yeah.
I would say originally the ending was even darker.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So the original script, I would say, would have in the United States landed an R rating.
Right. Wow.
And in fact, the original cut
Hmm.
landed an R rating. I had to do the old taxi driver trick of desaturating blood
That's
to
a
get
good
it a
trick.
PG-13 in the States.
That is a
So
great trick. But I love what you're saying about all that. It's the whole Brothers Grimm Roald Dahl thing too. Like, just challenge the
I mean,
kids.
Willy Wonka. I mean, come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
that guy's the stuff of nightmares if you look at him
He's
clinically.
I
drowning
think
kids in chocolate.
Well, I
It's
think
great.
in the book they're never seen of
Yeah,
again. Like they're gone.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
You have
yeah.
to go to was it the
Spanish.
rolling room? They've got a
Yeah.
room
Oh God.
dedicated
the
to
juicing room, the
the
juicing room.
juicing room.
The juicing room. Yeah, stretch him out. That's yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal,
I had to wait till I was in my 20s before I got access to another juicing room. It
right?
was a
But it's when we were released here, we took a group of my son and his friends, it was like 30 of his friends from school to go see it. And these were between the ages of 10 and 12. And I think one kid had to leave, but all the rest stayed the whole time
Good.
and enjoyed it. And so I think sometimes, movies aren't just made to hold your hand. Sometimes they're made to help you grow a little bit.
Yeah.
And even family films, I think at their core, they should ask some big questions and not be afraid of the answers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. My kids are well beyond this now. They're grown up, but I wish this film existed then because I raised them on, Gremlins
Ah,
and all the
oh, that's
the,
so sweet. Thank you.
the
That
good
means a lot. Yeah,
PG-13 stuff.
Gremlins is, that's,
yeah,
my God. Let's talk about Gremlins. That movie was terrifying. When I
Yeah,
saw that movie when I
totally
was
terrifying. Yeah.
gory,
5 years old.
scary, funny. Yep.
I mean, I went to bed, I think, having nightmares about the microwave scene for for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I say this to Ben on the show all the time. Like, I as an adult feel like I'm forever chasing that adrenaline I felt, that fear as a kid, and trying to like, relive that feeling I had back then. Because, you grow up and you do become desensitized, but as a kid, these things have a real effect on you, and it's a great
yeah.
thing.
Oh.
Let me
Yeah.
pivot for. Oh, you go first, Ben.
I was going to say, I wonder how much social policy is dictated by parents not wanting to deal with nightmares. Like that's
That's a that's a fair point. I mean, we did have our share of nightmares growing up in this house. So, but look, I don't know, Glenn, were you constantly helping your kid get back to sleep, or were they okay?
No, I won't say it was tough love, but it was always a conversation after the movie, just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
reassure, and then
that is very well put. I think too
yeah,
often it's turn the movie off and family time over.
yeah,
Like sit and talk about it.
yeah. And that's what we
E-
do.
Even even if you didn't like it, sit and talk about what you didn't like about it.
Yeah.
What did you think was boring? What did you not
Well,
believe?
I mean, it does make me wonder if I overdid it because they're not as interested in film now as they were back then. That's
Oh,
for sure.
really? I don't know.
Well, my
That's
my daughter said, "Do you remember that time you made me watch that movie?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. I made you watch it. All right."
like I made you go to school. Like it's all
Yeah.
part of your education. It's required.
how old are they now?
Oh, they're in their 20s. Yeah.
Wait till they're in their 30s, and then all those stories of made me will become like
Yeah.
remember wins, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it'll be
like that.
nice.
I'll hold
I
on to
think
that.
I always think the big problem is that they haven't met the right friend. Like, because once you have that, because they
And
never like
that's
anything your parents like, but then you meet that friend who's into it and he's like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and I've
Yeah.
seen that,
that's 100% true.
and then it
And
all
I
comes to value, and then it all gets its value.
That's very true. I mean, we live in, well, LA, so it's like we're surrounded by movie culture. So all of my son's friends are into movies, and more than my wife's from the Midwest, and States and from Ohio, and they're not as quite as into movies there, and so it's like I get to see both sides of young reality now, and so my son is definitely, to your point, Ben, surrounded by people that he goes to school, and over the weekend it's what did you watch, which is how I
Yeah.
grew up. I don't know about you two, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
like when I grew up, it was like Monday, at school, it was like there was a whole discourse about what you saw at the Cineplex that weekend,
Yeah.
and what was on TV and that kind of thing.
100%. I remember a whole day full of talking about Wayne's World because it was the greatest thing we've ever seen.
Oh my! By the way, I gotta give a shit. Do you remember the Wayne's World trailer?
Yeah,
It's like the
vaguely.
It's like the greatest trailer of all time. And like I found it by accident the other day. Everyone, when they're done with this, should go look up it aired in front of the Addams Family, and it just starts with them, these hands snapping, and then it pans out and it's Wayne and Garth just singing the Addams Family song. It's brilliant. It's like as funny as anything in the movie.
Oh
It's
my
really good.
God, yes. What do you reckon, like just on this conversation, like can you remember any particular movie that was sort of forbidden that you went and snuck behind your parents' back to see? Like, is there any that come to mind?
Well, it's a funny question so I grew up in a very conservative evangelical home, and so
Is this going to get you into trouble now if they listen to this?
no, I have a great relationship with both my parents. I talk to them all the time. I actually give them a hard time, and they show my son movies that I'm like, I wasn't allowed to see that until I was 14. Like, what are you? It's ridiculous. But growing up, they were very strict about what I couldn't see, and like that's why like certain like Spielberg got kind of a pass. Zemeckis got a pass. Anything in black and white got a pass. So I found this weird loophole where like I was like 10 watching Psycho, and they just didn't put it together. And but I couldn't go see the slasher film that was actually out in the theaters at the time. So I grew up kind of back watching a lot of older films. I was oddly respectful of that rule.
Yeah.
And then when I turned 13, I boldly announced the MPAA says I can see any PG-13 movie I want now. And they kind of like, all right. And then I did the same thing at 17, and they went, all right. And I don't know. So I think the only time I remember truly sneaking around their back to watch something, I think I watched half of Terminator 2. But I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched like half of it. And then shortly thereafter, they made an exception for that film because we forget, it was such a juggernaut. Like it
Yeah.
was like you were ostracized at school if you hadn't seen Terminator 2. And they were like, all right, we're making you weird. We're going to let you go watch Terminator 2.
You're getting
But yeah,
bullied.
funny, but it's a full circle thing. Like by the end, and I was going to film school and stuff. They were like, see whatever you want. Like I went and saw I remember, I won't say which parent, but one of my parents actually had to like, I wanted to see Boogie Nights, and I was 17, and at the time, Blockbuster in United States, they had that movie was so controversial, they didn't allow a 17-year-old to rent it without parental consent, even though it was R.
Yeah.
And so I remember one of my parents actually went and rented me Boogie Nights. So they went the whole other way and were like, okay, you like movies, it's art. What do you want to do? What do you want to watch? Go for it.
I love that.
I had to
So
rely on that friend's cool dad to get all those movies. Oh, it's your 15th
another,
birthday. Let's go. What do you want?
Yeah.
it's a
Yes.
valid
Natural Born
method.
Killers. Yes.
Oh wow, that's
Well, I got dropped off to see Ace Ventura, but I snuck into Natural Born Killers instead. So.
honestly solid trade.
Yeah.
All love and respect to Jim.
I'd already seen Ace Ventura.
Right.
You could have gotten around that whole rule with just turning the saturation down on any movie you wanted and watch them all in black and white.
That's true.
When they walk in, like instead of the boss button that you used to have on computer games,
Yeah.
would you hit F3 and a spreadsheet would come up? You just have the black and white button. You're like, oh no,
Black
no.
and crush it down.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because the blood always looks so much worse. Like I just rewatched Taxi Driver recently with my son. And we were watching it, and you get to that scene, and it's so much grittier and more. I mean, it's almost got like that Grindhouse feel because it's so desaturated and dark, and like the rest of the movie is,
Yeah.
pretty beautifully shot, and it's like you get to that scene, and it's like, oh, it's like way more upsetting.
Except for that uncomfortable moment that your dad's beside you when Martin Scorsese's talking about cleaning up spunk off the back seat.
That's a little rough.
Yeah.
I knew the movie well enough. I chose a few moments to be like, hey, dude, go refill our sparkling waters. Go get us a Coke.
That you should see. That's right. I love these sort of conversations. I know we've strayed away from the movie, but
Oh, that's totally. I'd love to hear about you guys. It's so fascinating to hear. Like, it's so nice to know insane movie geekdom,
okay.
crosses oceans.
Well,
So
here's something about me, and I want to hear something about you. So the first movie I saw in a cinema was E.T., and I was only about two or three, and I vividly remember at the moment. What was the first film you saw in a theater?
I'm not making this up. It's E.T.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm 1981, and it was a re-release, I believe. Like movies were out for like 3 or 4 years back then. They
Yeah.
would keep coming out, and I remember I remember being so upset, when the scene where he astral projects and he leaves his body and he phones home. I was so upset and didn't understand that scene. I had to be taken out of the theater. So my first movie, apparently, I had to be taken out of. My first, but I got to say, that's like I have that memory. It's like a
Yeah.
ping. It's like a ping in there.
Hmm.
But like I clearly remember Back to the Future, because I remember they were like, "Hey, Alex P. Keaton from Family Ties is in a movie, and it's supposed to be." And that's all I knew about it, and I loved Family Ties. We all watched it as a family, and I was like 4 or 5,
Uh-huh.
but like, so I was like, okay, that sounds cool. We went, and like, I had no idea what it was about. And I saw I remember the big cardboard cutout of Marty straddling the fire trail and looking at his watch, and it just said "out of time," and I was like, what am I going? I had no idea what I was going to see, and when that DeLorean jumps time, I mean, like like out of my seat, like I was just, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life,
Yeah.
and I was hooked. And so like that's my first. I remember like every moment of that attendance.
I was going to say, but I'm sure there's a massive chunk of that film that would have been right over your head, like all of that, all
Oh,
of it.
totally. The Biff in the backseat of the car, the on my hope chest for
Yeah.
Marty's drawers on the, yeah, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
it's amazing the stuff that you just don't see as a kid. Like, you're just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's completely reasonable.
blissful ignorance until
Yeah.
years later. But I mean that movie's held up, and so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a child of that. I think I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Tim Burton's Batman, the '89. I saw those like
Yeah.
12 times in the theaters. Like those were big, you
So
know.
I remember
Yeah.
finding Who Framed Roger Rabbit terrified me as a child when I
Oh,
saw that.
it's
Like when he's
horrifying.
dumping the animated
The,
shoe
the shoe.
into the thing, like
Oh
yeah,
no, that's what I mean. Like that scene is genuinely upsetting. Like
Yeah.
I
yeah.
remember, like by this, once I'd seen it once, I would always go to the bathroom during that scene.
Yeah.
But I still went and saw it like 8
And
times.
it doesn't get much darker than Batman, other than Batman
No,
Returns.
no, no. Oh, yeah, that's a good. Yeah, but I mean, all those. I mean, I often say like one of my biggest. I broke the VHS tape on Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Like that was a huge.
My
Like,
next
we're gonna talk
question,
Tim
my
Burton.
my next question was, what's a VHS you thrashed as a kid?
Big Adventure was like
Brilliant. Uh-huh.
that's like still, I think, one of the greatest, like I don't I and I'm sure people are gonna soundly disagree with me on this. I'm not sure Tim Burton's ever been better. He had like no resources,
100%.
but
100%.
the creativity and ingenuity on display and his desire to serve Paul Rubens,
Yeah.
just, I think that movie is lo-fi magic.
I think last week's episode or the week before I listed that as one of the great road movies. I think it's just absolutely
Absolutely.
almost perfect.
So
Interesting. I
that
love
broke
that.
that one, broke Batman, broke Jurassic Park. It's like I went to film school and I got a little highfalutin, but I mean, from age, 3 to 16, 17, I was a multiplex kid
Yeah,
of the 80s
I
and
mean, I
90s.
probably made the biggest mistake of my life, but I went to film school too, but I left film school when that kind of shit was not embraced. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
Walked
left and
out.
yeah, I'm like, nah,
yeah.
they made fun of me because I like Spielberg and I like all this,
I was the same, and by the way, I dropped out too. So
yeah.
we're all in the. I went for 3 years, and then I was like, I've had enough of this, and took it.
Yeah,
But no, but it's
and you've made
you.
movies. I record a podcast with this guy.
Of, but you get
What?
to talk. I've never talked to Michael Mann.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I didn't get to talk to Robert
Don't
Duvall.
Don't,
I
So
you probably don't want
don't
I
sell
wish
yourself short, Glenn.
I wish we had talked about that gag earlier because I would have had like a burger or something here that I could have been eating and clearly not paying attention for when you
to.
huh?
Oh
And
my
then
God.
horrible during it.
Um, Back to your work. I noticed that
Yeah.
IMDb lists your next film as Dark Light, and the little write-up they've got there sounds fascinating. Is there any truth to it? What's the story?
Yeah, we're in post. So
Awesome.
I shot it already. Actually, our lead Tanner Hagen. It was just announced today. I got to give him a shout out. He's going to be Shaggy in the Netflix Scooby Doo live action. They're giving it the full new treatment.
Brilliant.
He just got cast as that. Yeah, it's in some ways it's a smaller film. It's sort of a maybe a little more Stephen King than this last one. If I have to point at something, but it's a group of people are trying to survive a preternatural event, and it's kind of ask that question: if it's the end of the world, who are you,
Yep.
and what do you become? Do you reach out to help each other, or do you serve yourself and try to protect yourself, and do you look out for yourself? And my
I'm becoming a
writer,
monster. I'm just putting that out there right now. Glenn, don't
well,
depend on me. If it happens, you're on your own.
I will say in advance of the movie, I'm probably presenting a little more optimistic than I actually am. But the movie is optimistic. But I hear you, Ben.
Like
But it's you
what's
got.
it that what is it? Zombieland. Zombieland is not wrong, and I do not do well with cardio in those rules of survival. So I got to look after number one.
No, totally. I mean, look, I would die day one of an apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'm useless. The minute the minute I couldn't watch a movie or TV, I would just shrivel up and die anyways. So it would be, but no, but it's we went and shot. It was a Xeno was a bigger film than not huge by any means. Our budget was actually fairly modest, but it was still when you work with Kevin Hart. Certain things, I mean, literally just dealing with the unions, like you're a Kevin Hart film to them. You're not,
Hmm.
we had we had some bills get run up on us a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so and so I really always felt like and I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy with it, but I always felt like I was holding on to that movie. And it was writing me in some ways as much as I fought the good fight, but it was a tough shoot. And I longed for sort of my first film where I had no resources and I had no money. And yet I felt like the world was my candy store, and I wanted that back. And so I wrote this sort of ensemble piece that had a kind of a responsible production. It's kind of mostly kind of like The Blob, all in the bowling
Hmm.
alley. It's a lot in one location. And we put the money together and we got a cast and we went and shot it. And it's going to be a long post
Yeah.
because there's a lot of visual effects and I do most of them myself.
Well,
So
hopefully
it's
that time allows your Scooby Doo star to explode and
And then
I
yeah.
mean for sure. I mean let's hey everyone, it could be the next if it's the next Wednesday, for sure. No, but
Yeah.
it's he's really good. Like I don't want to. It's funny. It's like some people you say Scooby Doo, they might be like but no, he's going to be great in that show.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. He auditioned and he blew us away. He was just
Recently, Ben and I were talking to William Brent Bell about his film Lord of Misrule, and his sort of I won't say the lead actress, but the young girl in the film. In the meantime, had exploded on Wednesday. She was one of the main characters on
Mhm.
that show, and he goes, "Couldn't. It's the best thing that could have happened to us." Like,
Totally. I mean, we're all we're all now huge Scooby Doo fans,
Yeah,
and
true.
Zoinks, we wanted to do so
Uh-oh.
well. But no, but we liked him, when he
Mm.
was guest star on and it's a good cast. We have Lachlan Watson who was in Y2K, and they're very good, and Ethan Suplee who was in like Blow, and my name is Earl, and
Dolly,
he's I mean
We just
Dolly.
released Dolly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolly's
yeah.
in cinemas now, still
Yeah.
with
So
Ethan Suplee.
yeah, he's and he's uh, awesome person. So I mean, it's a great. I got to work like Brent Jennings, Meredith Monroe, Brie Blair, I got this Josh Cook. I got this list of like character actors that I've always. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't, but I wanted a cast of like just great people and performers, and I wanted them to kind of come play. And they did, and they were great. And so it's a great, I'm really happy with the performances so far. But the visual effects will be kicking my ass for the next 18 months. So
Yeah, well, good
You
luck.
can
so stay
actually
tuned.
you can answer this question. Now this might this might be a bit of a deep cut, but I understand that to this day Ethan Suplee still can't see the boat. Is that is that true?
I didn't ask him, but he does still love running face first into the ocean and face planting in the waves. Now he's a really good guy, and by the way, he would, if you ever had him on, he would gab with you about that production all day long.
We would love that.
He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind a good war story.
Hook us up. Hook us up.
Email me. I'll see what he
Absolutely.
says.
I just love the way this conversation's gone. It's like a fun pinball machine from the 80s. It's just every direction.
I mean, I can nerd out. I mean, look, we can do the whole. I know I'm supposed to be on here. I'm supposed to talk about Kurosawa and Ozu and and Bresson and I love all those guys. But if I'm being honest with you, it's like I love movies, and I've seen too many.
The most important thing that Kurosawa does for our show is I've got a box set that props up the promotional sources that we have as a sponsor. So the Kurosawa's lifting.
He's a lift. Oh,
He's a lifter.
Come on. No, look, he's come on. He's Kurosawa. You gotta kind of love. You gotta love his. I mean, like I said, I can do. Tokyo Story's phenomenal, but I'd be dishonest if I didn't lead with the films that sort of raised me. And
100%.
Those are the films we're talking about.
And
and those are the films that influenced Xeno.
Yeah, and look, and Kevin Smith is not wrong. Yeah, I mean, like, he is incredibly wrong.
The boat is there,
but he's not wrong when he said that. He's wrong in that I don't have to see them, but he's like I don't have to see any of those classics because all the directors that I love have already seen them and been influenced by them in the movies that they've made that I love. So
it's valid. No, it's valid. I mean, we can't underscore how much Star Wars owes to the Searchers, and how much I mean, even Spielberg owes to Truffaut. I mean, like it's and so, but I mean, but it's I think sometimes I understand why you left film school, Glenn, because there is a real I like to say I really there are filmmakers, there are people that make films. And my desire is to make really great movies.
Yeah,
because I grew up loving movies. I've learned to love films, but I still have my heart still belongs to movies, which are kind of escape. Yeah, then that weird line between them.
Well, look, behind the scenes of the show, like I've been talking to Glenn about wanting to do a spin-off podcast called A Fat Idiot Watches the BFI's Top 250 Films of All Time.
Oh man, that's
you don't have to.
I would listen to that. You should do that, Ben. Like I would. You've got your first set of ears.
But he's a lazy fat idiot that'll never do it.
I've only watched one of those films so far.
I mean, there's some real kitchen sink British films on that list.
But it is so totally weird. Like the one that I did watch, and I've seen maybe 15 films I think on that list. And it is a great film. Like it is a good film, but I don't feel the need to ever watch it again. Like it's a great film, in terms of the political statements it makes.
What one are you talking about?
Sorry?
What one are you talking about?
Yeah, plug it.
Yeah, that's
because he did say it's a great film, so let's plug it.
He can't remember.
I can't remember the title of it.
But that's nothing new. He'll forget the name of your movie tomorrow.
That's okay. It's an easy one to forget. It's a Greek prefix. Who's gonna?
It is.
Don't worry. He's
Born in Flames. Born in Flames.
This is what he does best on the show.
It's very, very, it's very endearing.
Yeah.
So
But I will say that the one thing, the connection that Born in Flames has to this is that a very, very young Catherine Bigelow actually plays like a TV reporter or a news anchor in
really,
it.
she
Yeah,
acts.
she
Oh wow.
acts in it.
How was she?
She is great. I mean, she's in it for about 5 minutes. She's not in it for long, but
Yep.
she's pretty good. The movie is the minute it's ultra low budget kind of New York. It's a Lizzie Borden. I
Yeah.
keep there's Lizzie Borden, and then there's the one who killed her family with the
Yeah,
axe, who I think is
Okay,
also
that's
Lizzie
what I thought you
Borden.
were talking about. I was
same.
like,
I'm
Catherine
like, hang
Big.
on, what?
I was like,
Yeah, no,
reporter Lizzie Borden.
there's another, there is a
She's a little
filmmaker called Lizzie
printed
Borden.
press reporter. Like I
Yeah,
was like,
Yeah,
what's
she gets excited when the director says cut.
yeah, yeah.
so but like I don't want to throw because I really do have my deep I have my Criterion subscription and I do my movie that I mentioned before I think we started recording I host a monthly movie screening at my house here and it's about 10 people on the list and the only rule is that none of us can have seen the movie
Wow.
and so what it ends up doing is I mean, you get really deep cuts. Like I think we started we started this year with Bellatar's Damnation, and it's like which is a brilliant film, but
Mm,
I mean, oh my God, it's heavy. So but it's like, but we do it's so I mean, we watch I love cinema
yeah.
but I feel that you know it would feel sort of dishonest if I was striving to make just those kind of movies. And I miss the kind of films we're talking about. I don't think we get enough of them.
Ben's trying to make a connection here.
I was going to
Oh,
say
what
that
Bellatar's
next,
Damnation? Oh,
next,
Heavenly Bodies.
the
okay.
it's
I'm gonna email you guys. I want a list to help me. All right, I'm
Well,
writing down.
if
I'm
we're
writing it
ever in your
down.
neck of the woods, we want an invitation because what
You
you're
got it.
doing, what you're doing,
Come to California.
what you're
It's the
doing,
second Tuesday of every month.
mate, it is the exact concept that Ben has for another podcast he wants to do, which is
I,
films he hasn't seen before.
I can't believe I've never seen. And yeah,
Yeah,
people will talk about the greatest movies that they've never seen.
yeah.
No, it's I would say there's it's funny our most astute Dewey Nelson he's like a comedian and yet he has seen more movies than like all of us put together. He's like our goalie. Like it's everyone's goal is to get their movie past Dewey. It's like we gotta get the we gotta get this. But I mean we watched. Have you guys seen Hell's a Poppin'?
No,
The 30s, 40s zoot suit.
It
Yeah.
is it inspired Mel Brooks. It inspired the Zucker brothers. It is
brilliant.
we hadn't because it never in the United States it's unavailable. We had to watch a pirated version
Mm,
because there's no way to watch it here, and it's in a legal dispute. It's been in it for like 60 years.
amazing.
And it was so funny. It had a scene in it that was straight out of Looney Tunes Duck Amuck when Bugs is erasing Daffy and doing all those. I mean, it was an incredible. So it's a great. We for every bad screening, and there's plenty of them. We have a Hell's a Poppin'. For
Amazing.
every heavy film, we have we have something
we can
fun.
hook you up with some rare Aussie ones too.
I am gonna be. I would love because you guys honestly, I'm not dumb to your country's cinema, but I just don't think enough of your work makes its way
No.
here. Like
And
it's
sometimes
and
for good reason. Like wait till you watch Pandemonium. That's a very special Australian
Yeah.
film.
But we do
Okay.
have a lot
About a
of
dingo
we do
girl.
have a lot of culty kind of films that you could probably put on your list there. That's for sure.
well, I will hit you up, and you
All
guys have
right,
an open standing invitation when you're here.
all
Second
right,
Tuesday of the month.
love it.
Come, I'll make room for a screening. But I mean, you guys have a great film culture where you I mean, like you guys have some amazing cinema.
Yeah, Ben's one of the guys that runs Monster Fest, which is a genre film festival down here in Melbourne.
Oh
We
wow.
play some really great stuff, old and new.
We try and keep it weird when
Do you
we
keep
can.
it? How? What time of year is that event?
Where usually we've got the main festival is in October, early October, and then we do a Monster Fest weekenders, which we've got one that's literally that was on this weekend
Okay.
past, and then there's another one in two capital cities, and then there's the
Traveling, yeah, travels.
traveling. It's in another two. It was in Brisbane and Adelaide last week, and this
Wow.
week will be in Perth and Sydney. Perth and
And
New South
you're celebrating monster culture in general, cinematic monster culture.
Well, it's a little deceptive. This we it's just genre. It's
just
genre.
genre? Okay.
Genre. So we played we
You
actually got a
skew,
complaint.
you skew horror.
We definitely
Oh,
we
yeah.
definitely skew
'Cause
horror, but we
the-
did play.
I was
we
going to say
played
the monster in Monster Fest represents Monster Pictures, which is the company.
Yeah,
Ah,
rather
okay.
than the
Yeah.
festival itself. But we played Dragged Across Concrete as our opening night film one year, and
How did it play?
it went down really well. Everyone enjoyed it, but we did have a couple of people going, "Well, it's not horror, is it?"
Yeah,
Like,
that's
well,
right. But it's from the guy that did Bone Tomahawk, you know?
I know. I was gonna say, had you already shown him Bone Tomahawk and Brawl? I mean, like
No,
I
no.
think that, and he has that. Have you guys? I don't know if you read scripts, but he has that unproduced. Oh God, what's it called? It's like the Battle Bastards of. If you look it up on IMDb, it's in development.
Yeah.
It is a Cormac McCarthy level work of
amazing.
screenwriting. They keep saying he's gonna make it someday, and I'm like. I'm waiting for it.
We
It's
were
like the most brutal Western I've ever read.
We were talking about him last week because we had Dallas Sonia on the show, and they've just produced Frontier Crucible, a new Western. And that was based on a book that Craig Zala had taken to Dallas Sonia that they translated the book into a script without, like, it was like putting it into an AI and just
he refused to take a writing credit.
Yeah, there was
'cause
no
he's like,
writing credit. It was just the book adapted completely.
That's cool that I think that guy. I want him to work more. I really enjoy, and I know he's a little controversial, but I think he's legit.
Yeah,
I like his stuff.
Hardcore too. Yeah.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
No. It's soft and I try to be hardcore with Xeno and I can't help but be a little family. And that dude is just like, nope. I'm gonna cut straight to the bone.
Yeah.
Like, watch your Morrow. I'm coming for it.
Look, we shouldn't take up much more of your time, so I'll just round it back to Xeno. It's a great film, and I hope everybody that's listening and watching checks it out if they hahaven't already.
Thank you.
We'd love to get you back on the show because this is a conversation we could go on for hours.
Anytime. You've got my email.
Brilliant.
I'm a night owl, so this was easy for me.
Excellent. We love that, don't we? Because we're up at 4:30 tomorrow morning to do another interview with someone that's not a night owl.
Okay, no, so I sincerely, this has been. I don't love these things. I'm a little reticent to do them. But this was awesome. This was talking to film lovers and anytime.
My name is Renee Rowan. And if you're watching this, tell my mom what happened.
Sweetie, you have a good heart. It's your father's heart. Don't ever lose that. No matter what.
Hello?
What the hell is this, Renee? Where did it come from?
There was a huge crater where I found it. I think maybe his base. I know you're scared, but you're with me now, and I'm gonna keep you safe. Do you really want to do this? Go. This is Crow. Now we're friends. No eating friends. I thought that might happen. Now that is a surprise.
You think you're unique. That you're the first person to ever find one. They are biological machines designed to kill.
God, it's so much worse than I imagined.
I know. It's great.
After everything I told you, how could you call this monster you found your friend?
Because you're wrong. I didn't just find it. We found each other. Don't be what they say you are. Be my friend.